All right, this week Porsche Cup is going to Bathurst, and we did a guide for that last season. The car has not changed too much, so I'm going to put a link to that right up here, and we are going to do something different today. The title of the video probably led you to believe that. Imagine that. It said something along the lines of 5 iRacing features that you didn't know about. I'm guessing you might know about some of these. Usually when I see videos like this, I know about a fair number of the things that they're going to be talking about, but I usually find it interesting to see what the person has done. And this is more for the people who don't know about these features, newer folks that have not seen this stuff. So we're going to talk about a few things here, and I guess I can kill the video retention if I go over what they are real quick on the side here. But we're going to talk about practice groups, private voice channels. Let's look at my notes here because I am super good at doing this kind of stuff. The graphics black box and different stuff you can do with that, like the driver height and force feedback stuff there, and the active reset. And also the session events and lap charts, that kind of stuff that people don't really know about with the events result page. I see a lot of people like not knowing that somebody got a black flag for something, and or wanting to check that kind of stuff, and that's where you find that. But with that said, let's go ahead and we'll talk about practice groups, what they are, and how to use them. All right, so the first thing we're going to be talking about here is practice groups. I don't think everybody knows about this one. Right now I've signed up to a practice in a Formula Ford lobby, and we've got 7 people, looks like, about in this lobby. I'm not good at counting that fast, but we're all in group 1 right now. So if I zip around to the different people, I can see them driving around the track. And if we wanted to be in a lobby by ourselves, but still be able to get the live timing data from these folks, we can hop into any of these other groups. To get here, we click on the Entries tab in the lower left, which is behind my head right now. But I think everybody knows where to find that one. If we go up to the top here where it says My Group, we can select any of these other practice groups. They each have 12 slots available. And we've joined group 7 now, and in a moment when it catches up to live, the replay here, we will see this guy disappear because he's not in the in our lobby anymore. We just caught up to live there. So now we've got me here. I use this sometimes to practice a track that I'm unfamiliar with, and I don't want to anybody seeing my mistakes. So I'll hop into a session like I was doing what is it, the V8 Supercars a couple seasons ago, and I would hop into a lobby and jump into a different one before the race, so I wouldn't, if I spun out or something like that, I wouldn't have to worry about being in front of somebody or that kind of thing. We've also used it for, for practicing for a team event. We'll jump into a different practice group so we're by ourselves, not having to worry about other people there. It's a handy thing to be able to know how to do. I think it's available in most of, if not all, of the Asphalt series at the moment. When I'm recording this, I don't see it too often. I don't know if it's available in any of the Dirt series that we have, but that is a useful thing, I think, to be able to know how to do. So yeah, like I said, practice groups, I really think that not a lot of people know about that. I think more people know about it than this next one, though, which is the custom voice channels, which I think are a cool thing. I don't know that they're as useful as some of the other stuff here, but it is a cool feature that iRacing has that, like I said, I don't think a lot of people know about. So let's talk about what they are and how to do it. Another interesting thing that you can do that I don't think a lot of people know about is set up additional radio frequencies. So to do that, you just go to your black box here and type in the name of whatever frequency we want to call it. We'll call it Josh Radio. If we can spell radio correctly. Hit enter, and now we've got our Josh Radio channel. So on our scanner side, we are scanning it, and then we can switch to our transmitter side. Select this to be the one that we're transmitting on. if I hit my push to talk button. So now we're transmitting on Josh Radio. Anybody else who has typed this in and has it set up to receive will be hearing what I said there. I'm pretty sure that nobody else has done that in the 3 seconds since I set it up. But I can see this being useful if you're in a team. Like, a lot of people will be using Discord for this kind of stuff. But if you see some people in a team event, you can send them a text message to, hey, set up this channel. Or I could see for like a league, setting up like a race control type channel, that kind of thing. There is an official race control channel, but you could name it something different and have it work in that capacity. But I think that's a cool feature. I don't know how useful it is, but there are certain scenarios in which I can see it being used, and now you know about it, and maybe you can find some use for it. I don't know all the situations that this could be useful for, but I do think that it is a cool thing that people don't know about, and they can set up, and now you know about it. So you can set a custom voice channel up for your league, or with some buddies or something like that. Yeah, like I said, I think it's really neat that it's a feature that we have here. Another feature that I think that people don't know or take advantage of using is some of the stuff that shows up in the results pages. So we will talk about that here. Primarily the session event log, but there's also lap charts and graphs and that kind of stuff. So we will go ahead and we'll talk about that here. All right, this next one has to do with, I don't know that a lot of people know about this. I certainly didn't for a long time. In our results page, there's a whole bunch of this stuff that I don't think a lot of people know about. This is from the members website. It's not all in the UI, but stuff keeps getting added. I'll go through what's there as of the time of this recording in a second, but we're going to go through some of these buttons here. I think most people know that if you hover over the splits button here, it'll show you which split you're in. We were in this one, but you know, hey, I do what I can in this series. Not typically driving oval, but the main thing I want to talk about here is this session events log, and this will show you all the stuff, why different things happen on different laps. So we got a slow car. I loaded up an NIS racer just because I knew there would be some stuff in it. We've got some penalties for exiting a closed pit lane. We've got a lead change, caution, some other penalties. You'll see black flags there for jumping the start. All that kind of stuff you can see in this event log. This was at Martinsville. There's a lot of stuff here, but that is, like I said, an interesting thing. I'm going to try and blur these names out. There's also the lap chart. The event log, I should note, is currently in the UI. It's all the way at the bottom here. We can see our splits here as well. The event log down here, it's at the bottom. So in this way, you can also highlight by what type of penalty and who, like which members had what going on in there, so you can kind of filter it a little bit more easily. We can do that here in the one on the members site as well by clicking on the type there that we want to see. We've also got a lap chart, which lets us know what position, you know, which car was on which lap. We've also got it as a graph. These longer races are going to take a little bit longer to load. But you can see what's going on here with different folks. Kind of gives you a sense of how things went without having to load up the replay. This will just take me to my series standings in that series, which opened up on the other monitor. And then we can also see, you know, we'll look at our laps here. You know, what happened on what laps, if we've got an off track or anything like that. I think, yeah, so we got pitted here. If there was an off track or car contact or that kind of stuff, it would show up in these as well. So if you got an X and you want to see what it was, it'll show, you know, car contact or off track, what have you, loss of control, discontinuity, that kind of stuff you can see there as well. So that is some interesting stuff in the results pages that, like I said, I don't think a lot of people know where to find it or that kind of stuff. So if you like, did this guy get a black flag at the start, you know, you can go to the session events and find out. Yeah, those session events are an interesting thing to be able to go back and look at. It's not something you need to use every day, but it's nice knowing where to find that information if you're looking for it. Another thing that is nice to know where to find something is easy way for me. I use it mostly to change the driver's height, but the graphics black box I have seen people not know about. So I'll talk about it here. I was just about to repeat everything I say in this little section of the video that's coming up, but I won't do that. I'll let past me talk about it. Here we go. All right, so one other thing that I don't think a lot of people know about, maybe you do, maybe you don't, is this graphics adjustments black box. I was just driving the Formula Ford in that other thing where we were talking about the practice groups, and I set my driver height to negative 0.4 inches. Well, in the Porsche Cup that I'm going to be using here for this next little section that we're going to talk about, I don't like being this low in the car. I feel like I need to get some phone books out to boost myself up. So I get my little graphics black box out here, and I don't mess with the FOV too much in here. I did a little bit when I initially set up my monitors, but now it's kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing. But I do want to be able to see over the dash, so we can go down here to driver height and adjust that here quickly in the black box, and I just kind of know what I like for different cars that I drive. Also, in this black box, I don't know that people know about this, but you can adjust your force feedback strength here too. So you can do that, and you can set it up with the auto function here. Drive around for a few laps and don't hit any curbs, and then uncheck the auto box there. But that graphics adjustment black box is a pretty handy one. Yeah, like I said, I think more people know about the graphics black box than some of this other stuff that we have spoken about, but I think there are enough people out there that don't know about it, and I didn't know about it when I first started, so I figured it would be good to include here. This final one, I think more people know about because it is one of the newer additions to iRacing here, but it's super handy, and I've still had people say things like, I wish iRacing had this feature. So we'll go ahead and explain what the active reset is, kind of how to get it set up, and a couple scenarios in which to use it. All right, I think more people know about this, the active reset feature that was recently introduced. But I still see people saying, I wish iRacing had this, and we do now. So we have to set up some keybinds for it first. We need to add a keybind for our active reset start point and our active reset return. I've mapped those to my wheel here. We can also set a custom sector mark start point and a custom sector mark endpoint. You don't have to use that with the active reset feature. It will, but the active reset feature will automatically set up these points, but you can set them up separately. And if you just got a certain area of the track and you don't want to use the active reset, you can still use the custom sector start and end points if you set up those keybinds. I don't use it typically too much, so I'm not gonna set up those keybinds. It's not super a thing that I'm using, but you can use it that way. So we've set up those keybinds for our start point and our reset. I'm here at Bathurst, which is what we're going to be doing this week in the Porsche Cup, and I want to practice, let's say, the downhill section going through the dipper and coming out of Forest Elbow. So let's go get that set up, and we'll kind of show you how we can use the active reset feature to do that. I typically use it just to save a outlap, and that way I can just not have to worry about doing an outlap when I crash. I've talked about that in this previous video up here where I talked about how I practice, so I'll link that up there like I pointed to before. I don't need to keep doing it. I'm in the little window in the bottom corner. I didn't realize. Anyway, let's go get it set up. Alright, so we want this to be on a straightaway when we set this up. So we're going to start it here. Basically, I like to set it up where my inputs are neutral. And we're going to be going slow through because I'm talking. But like I said, I like to set it up where my inputs are neutral. Or like, I had it flat out there, but we hit our start point here, and we're going to want, let's see, we'll set our end point. Or we come out of Forest Elbow here. I'm gonna hold that endpoint button. It's really loud. But like I said, I like to set it where it's neutral. It's gonna blend your inputs, so you're not going to be able to steer immediately coming through it. So if you start it in like a corner, it's gonna feel really weird when you go to reset. So I like to do it on a straightaway, where like I'm either full throttle or something like that. Hopefully not like right before you have to shift. So we're coming up on a breaking point here really quick. I would have liked to have set it just a little bit further back, but like I said, I was talking and stuff. But now I'm holding the button down and I'm switching hands while I do this so I can get the mouse. We have our custom sector set up from our start point to our end point there, and we can go through and just I guess I have to really brake right after that. I would have set it back. You can just go around and do another lap and set it up. I just did this right after the outlap. But now we can just drive through here with our custom sector and try and get better going through the downhill here. Maybe I would have set the end point, and you see the end point actually there on the road. I would have set the end point a little bit closer to the end. There's not a whole bunch out of after Forest Elbow there where I'm going to change too much, but yeah, now we can just practice this and we'll see, you know, what little changes we can make here that are going to get us more time as we go through this section of the track. We can do it like pretty much through any, we can do like one corner, we can do a complex like this, and you know, try and get it down. I don't find this as helpful personally as really have to, I've really set that up in a bad spot. I would, like I said, I would like to give myself a little bit more runway to react to what's going on there, but like I said, I like to have the full track. It's going to work differently for different people. I like to have the full track, so I get the corner in its context, because like the run up to it's going to be different every time, slightly. Hopefully not, but you know, it tends to evolve as we go. But that is kind of a base rundown on how you use the active reset feature that we've got here, and the custom sector. Again, we could run full laps and just see, you know, how we're doing through this section every lap too. You don't have to use them together, but they do automatically kind of work together there. So yeah, like I said, the active reset's pretty handy. I did mention in there, I use it typically just to store a cold lap, and I talked more about that in my video on how I end up doing my practice. But I think it is a handy feature that people are still learning about, so I decided to include it here. If you think that I missed a hidden feature that iRacing has, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. I am always looking to learn more of this stuff, or things that people think that are kind of hidden away that not a lot of people know about, but that is some of the ones that I hear people saying, you know, I wish I knew I wish iRacing had this, and we do have this kind of thing, and figured I would help spread the word on some of these things that could be done. If you found the video handy, thumbs up. If you already knew all this stuff, you know the thumbs down button works too. I understand. I get it. If you think I earned it, hit the subscribe button. It does help out, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.